When we talk about service observability, we are talking about the end-to-end visibility into the processes that live at the core of how organizations create value. Today, we are working with Splunk T-shirt company, a manufacturer and a retailer with a global distribution network. For them, SAP powers processes that include procure to pay, schedule to build, and even financial reporting. Order to cash, however, is their most critical business service. Like many organizations, they use shared cloud and data center infrastructure to power not only SAP, but other business services. All of these interconnected applications have the potential to create impacts or outages, either in one step of the process or manifest as a problem in a different step somewhere else. What we have here is a dashboard studio visualization underpinned by Splunk Service Intelligence for SAP. The dashboard shows application performance and infrastructure components like the load balancer, app servers, database, firewall, and networking as well. On the left, you'll see a simple diagram of order processing, with each step in the process based on the aggregation of underlying KPIs. Let's dive deep into this, and it's as simple as clicking the SAP Service Health Score, which takes us into the ITSI Service Analyzer. The Service Analyzer is a topology mapping of all the interconnected systems powering the business. You can see that Splunk T-shirt company is at the head of all business services, but we have a lot of dependencies underneath that, such as VMware, shared storage, mail services, and payment services, as well as SAP. SAP itself is composed of multiple areas consisting of the instance, the integration, the database, the central instance, and all other components. But for now, let's go back to the dashboard. It looks like we have an escalating problem. Our SAP Predictive Health Score is dropping and is predicted to reduce drastically in the next 30 to 40 minutes. You also notice that we are seeing color changes showing up in multiple areas of the business. We see a degradation in SAP app performance and an issue in the firewall. Goods issue is impacting invoice time, and underpinning that, we see a spike in IDOC errors and dialog response times as well as RFC issues. When something like this happens, you can click on any of these visuals to investigate the issue, but let's dive into this by clicking into the SAP Service Health again. Just like we saw before, color coding in this visualization helps guide us towards where the issues exist or from where they may have manifested. Service Intelligence for SAP comes with more than 450 adaptive threshold KPIs, and you can drill into any of these services for the underlying KPIs that make up that particular service. The issue appears to impact the M74 ABAP IDOCs. An IDOC is an SAP object that carries data of a business transaction from one system to another, and oftentimes these messages interface with third-party systems like cloud integrations, EDI, or warehousing applications. You can drill deeper into the entity for further analysis. However, ITSI provided us with guidance on the next logical navigation to investigate. So let's follow ITSI into a deep dive. This brings us to a correlated view of all KPIs associated with this particular service, and it shows us the connections between metrics, trends, and events over time. Outbound IDOCs typically need to traverse our network and leave the firewall to communicate with external systems, and that's why ITSI already captured the unauthorized connections KPI in this particular deep dive. Additionally, many organizations use ITSM solutions like ServiceNow to manage change requests. And unfortunately, all too often, a change request is the genesis of a problem in a service like this. In this event, we can see a ServiceNow ticket requesting a change to the firewall that protects our SAP environment. Our best course of action would be to roll back that change. And the good news is that we don't need to leave Splunk to do it. Let's go into the episode review and take action. This episode is ITSI's aggregation of all notable events created due to this particular service interruption. We see here that it is labeled unassigned and critical, so let's take a look. Here we can see details about this episode, like the impact, events timeline, or other areas. But most importantly, from this episode view, we can take action. Actions can send an alert to Splunk on call, run an automated SOAR playbook, or send an email. But let's leverage Splunk's integration with ServiceNow to open a ticket with all the metadata to roll back that firewall change. The NOC responded and they've rolled back the change. So let's head back to our dashboard and see how things are improving. Okay, so it looks like the overall health of our business service and the systems powering our business processes are changing back to green, with low errors and higher health scores. This tells us that these underlying service issues are resolved and that we are again operating as expected. Splunk Service Observability is designed to provide end-to-end insight into the operational effectiveness of critical business processes, and also to enable you to spend less time troubleshooting and more time innovating.